Apologies again for my voice sounding sick. I wanted to get this review out as soon as I could, so after waiting a couple days and not getting better, I decided to just record the audio anyways. This will be the last time, hopefully, you'll hear me sick in a while. Mighty No. 9 is shaping up to be one of the most disappointing things to grace the internet in 2016, and I guess that's to be expected, considering all the broken promises and delays that it faced. It was promised to be a wondrous spiritual successor to Mega Man, a beloved classic franchise that is dead but not forgotten. A lot of people, including myself, love the Mega Man series, so naturally when the former developer of the series promises to make a Mega Man-esque game to please the fans, everyone would get excited. Even the concept art, which is just that, made me pumped to see more of Mighty No. 9. Despite this, I never backed the project because something always felt off about it. The head of the Mega Man series was making a spiritual successor costing millions of dollars? It just felt kinda fishy, and now I understand why. It's been 3 years since the Kickstarter was launched, and now we've finally seen what the full game looks like. Putting aside the embarrassing marketing campaign, Mighty No. 9 looks absolutely awful and nothing like what was promised. The presentation is reminiscent of something from the PS2 era, but even worse than that, it's not even Mega Man. It attempts to be like Mega Man, but it lacks what made Mega Man so revolutionary and enjoyable. It misses the entire point of the Mega Man gameplay style. Mighty No. 9 just doesn't get Mega Man. Okay, I know Mighty No. 9 is obviously not a carbon copy of Mega Man, but for something that was assured to be a Mega Man spiritual successor, it falls flat on its face. Mighty No. 9 stars Beck, otherwise known as an anime fan on prom night, that is about as close to Mega Man as you can get without plagiarizing him. And Beck can seemingly do everything Mega Man could do by the end of the series. He can dash, jump and shoot, and absorb the powers of enemies. However, do you see something wrong with this gameplay here? See, Mighty No. 9 relies on spectacle to make it seem like the platforming and combat is engaging, whereas something like Mega Man X has the level design, charm, and tight gameplay to keep you engaged. Mighty No. 9 has this weird emphasis on scoring and combos. It's clear the developers want Mighty No. 9 to be fast-paced, but to me, it comes across as lazy. Sure, it may have been the developer's intention to make the level simplistic for the sake of going fast, but I would guess that the overly straightforward level design has something to do with time constraints or the lack of care for the product altogether. Not to mention that a heavy focus on combos and getting the highest score was never the point of the side-scrolling Mega Man titles. I know it's cliche to say this, but Mega Man was about the adventure, the quest to eradicate the world of robot masters and save it from the diabolical hands of Dr. Wily. Some people do play Mega Man games to complete them as quickly as possible, but most of the time people play it for the thrill of stopping a villain and heroically saving the world. I know I personally could care less about my score or time when I play any Mega Man installment. To me, that adventure was what made Mega Man so compelling. Mighty No. 9, on the other hand, seems to want players to focus on scores, combos, and other artificial gameplay incentives to keep playing. I'm not saying there has to be an in-depth story for the game to make me want to keep playing. I'm saying that the level design decisions in Mighty No. 9 are flawed and misguided. For something that is being marketed as a Mega Man revival, it sure doesn't do that. It's like some old men in a conference room looked at Mega Man, then at a score-based game like, I don't know, Candy Crush, and said, "Oh yeah, kids love score-based games and have tiny attention spans. This'll be great to captivate our target demographic that are all 100% children." How could someone who was so involved with the creation of Mega Man miss why people adored Mega Man in the first place? Well, it's quite possible the man in charge, Inafune, just doesn't give a single fuck about appeasing fans or creating an exceptional product. I don't know about any of you, but it seems like all Inafune cares about is money, as evident by his multiple multi-million-dollar Kickstarter campaigns that took place before Mighty No. 9 9 was even finalized. Because of this greed, Mighty No. 9 suffers in every element. I've already mentioned that the gameplay fails to pay homage to Mega Man, but looking at the game objectively, there's practically no fun to be had. Levels are tedious and have the complexity of a 7th grade computer science project. A great example of this is this ice level that combines ice physics with bullshit enemy and platform placement, causing a tremendous degree of frustration. Not only that, but every other level is so unimaginative and bland that I can't remember many specifics of the stages. Plus, controlling Beck feels clunky and incomplete, with abilities not being fleshed out and almost useless in various instances. Remember in Mega Man when you would beat a boss and get some signature ability? Remember how cool that was? Yeah, in Mighty No. 9 when you beat a boss and get their ability, it's more of a nuisance since these abilities don't add much of anything to the gameplay. Overall, the gameplay is simply not enjoyable and was a chore to finish. The final boss was especially dull and boring, which was mostly a result of the wretched presentation. Golly gee, the visuals are absolutely atrocious. It's funny how Yooka-Laylee looks leagues better than Mighty No. 9 with a smaller budget and being a 3D platformer. Character models are awkwardly and terribly textured, with environments lacking in variety and detail. Worlds are not diverse, and the visual effects are about as cool as watching paint dry. I don't know how many different ways I can say it, but Mighty No. 9 looks awful, and that's disappointing considering the splendor that was promised to us in concept art. By the same token, the soundtrack is ear-bleedingly decent, with tracks ranging from garbage to rubbish
They probably shot blacks
to adequate, like with Trinity. As you can tell, the soundtrack is all over the place. Some tracks are kinda good, while others are really bad, which to its credit is a perfect tagline for the whole Mighty No. 9 experience. All in all, Mighty No. 9 is a bad game. For something that is attempting to recapture Mega Man, it does a piss poor job. Gameplay isn't entertaining at all, and the level design is so damn uninteresting. The visual presentation is horrendous, and sure, the soundtrack has some great tunes, but it has equally as many mediocre or awful ones. I would not recommend this game to anyone except for those who are curious, I suppose. There's really no enjoyment to be had from Mighty No. 9, so I would suggest you do not wait for a price dropper sale, but instead skip it entirely. If you really have your heart set on playing Mighty No. 9, at least wait until it's like $5. Anyways, if you disagree or agree with me, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching and take care. Have a wonderful day and goodbye.